Hello everyone, good evening, welcome to the session. Let's wait for about 2 or 3 minutes, let people join in and then we continue. Alright, I hope I'm audible and visible. I hope everyone can hear me and see me clearly. Let's wait for about 2 or 3 minutes. Hello Atar Shukla, how are you? Nice to see you. Welcome to the session. Okay, let's wait for about 2 or 3 minutes, let everyone join in and then we start. Good evening Atar, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Let's wait for two or 3 minutes more. Let everyone join in and then we start. All right? Yeah, you can go and catch a quick snack, Athar. Go catch a quick snack and come back. Go. We're waiting for another 2 more minutes. Yeah, just about a minute more and then we'll continue. Sure, Athar. Go. Grab a quick snack and come back. Go. Yeah, let's wait for a minute more and then we start. Come on, everyone, quickly. Okay, almost there. Okay, good evening everyone. Good evening and welcome to this session today on YouTube. And also welcome to Crack CA Exams with us, which is a vertical and channel of Unacademy. that caters to the students of CA Foundation and Intermediate in their journey and pursuit of preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations by providing top educators, quality content, and overall a great learning experience. So come, let's crack CA exams with Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform, and welcome to the session once again. Before we proceed, a brief introduction about the educator today, that's me. Hello, I'm Prathik Gupta. I'm a Bachelor of Commerce from Christ College, Bangalore University. I'm an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I'm an associate member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and also an associate member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and also a law graduate from Karnataka State Law University. I'm currently a practicing chartered accountant and also a visiting faculty for CA subjects and an educator for CA students both offline and online. Prior to starting on my own, I worked with SR Bartley Boy and Associates, that is the Indian member firm of Ernst & Young Global in the Audit and Assurance Department. Then I went on to work with Ernst & Young India in the Mergers and Acquisitions Department. And then I went on to work with the Manipal Group in Bangalore as the corporate controller of their Indian entity as well as the German subsidiary located in Frankfurt, Germany. And it was only after I got back from Frankfurt, Germany, that I decided to start something on my own. And that also gave me the opportunity to become an educator, and which in turn has given me this opportunity today to take this session for you young, fine, and bright CA aspirants. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I hope you find my session useful. Anytime during the session, in case you have any questions, queries, observations, or discussions to be made, please do not hesitate to drop in a line, and I will be more than happy to take up the matter for discussion or for problem solving as the case may be. Also, I'd like to draw your attention to my name, which is Prathik Gupta, Prathik Gupta, Gupta. Why I'm stressing so much on the spelling of my name is because a lot of people misspell my name, and that is the reason they are unable to find me on YouTube as well as the Unacademy Learning app, and they can't find my sessions on YouTube and the special classes on the Unacademy Learning app. So it's Prathik Gupta. So you can look me up with this name and you'll find my hundreds of hours of sessions on YouTube as well as special classes on the Unacademy Learning app, which you will find useful in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. All right? Right, Atharv, nice to see you. I hope you grabbed something to eat. Yes? Okay, let's proceed. Now, like I told you, Unacademy helps you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. Now, Unacademy does so through 3 platforms, that is YouTube, special classes, and its premium platform, which is the Plus platform, which is a payment-based subscription model, more about which I will tell you as we proceed. Now, YouTube and special classes are absolutely free of cost, but they provide immense value and resources to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. YouTube is just like what you're watching right now, okay? If you want to view my other sessions, you just need to go on YouTube and type Prathik Gupta, Prathik Gupta, and you'll find my sessions on YouTube, which you can make use of in your preparation. Now, special classes are conducted on a platform known as the Unacademy Learning app, which you need to download and install on your phones, and there you can access these special classes, all the live and the recorded special classes. More about the Unacademy Learning app I will tell you in the following slides. Okay, now let's talk about the Plus platform of Unacademy. The Plus platform of Unacademy, like I said, is the premium platform of Unacademy, which is also a payment-based subscription model and which has various subscription packages, more about which I will tell you in the following slides. Now, I personally recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible due to the following reasons. Firstly, the Plus platform of Unacademy provides daily live classes where you get to chat with your educator, engage in discussions, ask your doubts and answer polls. All this while the class is going on. Yes, you heard it right. All this while the class is going on. You do not need to wait for the end of the class. You do not need to wait for a couple of days after the class. You do not need to wait for the weekend after the class. And neither do you need to wait to fix up an appointment with your educator. You can ask your questions and clear your doubts as and when the class is going on a real-time basis. It's as good as you putting your hand up in a live classroom, and your educator will be more than happy in answering your questions and discussing matters with you. The second reason why I recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy is due to the live tests and quizzes it conducts on a regular basis, which help you to evaluate your preparation, and also the regular mock tests that help you get a detailed analysis of your performance. Now, you might be wondering as to why this evaluation and analysis is important. So let me tell you that once you're preparing for a professional examination, it becomes very important for you to take a stock of your preparation from time to time to get an understanding of where you stand, how much you've prepared, which areas you're well prepared, which areas you're not well prepared, and which areas you might require external help. So basically, the Plus platform of Unacademy helps to break down your preparation into 3 areas: your strong areas, your not so strong areas, and your weak areas, and helps you utilize your limited preparation time in these 3 areas until a time comes when your weak areas and your not so strong areas eventually become your strong areas. Thereby, the Plus platform of Unacademy ensures minimum wastage of time and maximum utilization of your precious preparation time. The third reason why I recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy is because of the structured courses. All the courses on the Plus platform of Unacademy are structured in line with your exam syllabus to help you best prepare for it, which simply means all the Plus courses on the Plus platform of Unacademy are prepared keeping in mind your exam syllabus. And once you complete a Plus course on the Plus platform of Unacademy, you can rest assured that you've completed the syllabus of your examination without missing out on any important or major points. And lastly and most importantly, the one subscription to the Plus platform of Unacademy gives you unlimited access. Okay, so the one subscription of the Plus platform gets you access to all the live and recorded courses to watch from the comfort of any of your devices, which simply means the one subscription to the Plus platform of Unacademy gets you access to all the live and recorded special classes, all the live and recorded Plus courses that Unacademy has to offer to you in order to help you in your preparations. And you can view these sessions, that is your special classes and Plus courses, at the comfort of any of your devices, which simply mean you can view them on your mobile phone, tablet, laptop, or desktop, as the case may be, without any restrictions. And also you can access that information 24/7 without any timing restrictions as well. There are no restrictions like 10 to 5, 10 to 4, 10 to 6, nothing. Whenever you want to prepare, you can just pull out your mobile phone, log into the Unacademy Learning app, and start preparing for your examinations. And one more additional feature is you can access this sessions and information from whichever location you want, whether you're at home, whether you're in college, whether you're at work, whether you're traveling from home to college or work, or from college or work to home, or you're waiting for someone for a meeting, or you're on a vacation, or you're in your native place. You can just pull out your mobile phones, log into the Unacademy Learning app, and start your preparation without having to think twice. All you require is a good internet connection or a data plan, which all of us are blessed with today. So keeping all these points in mind, I strongly recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible in order to enhance and accelerate your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. All right, please take about 30 seconds, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions you have, please ask me. All right, any questions? Okay, let's move on. Now, this is about the Unacademy Learning app. Now, for all of you who have downloaded the Unacademy Learning app and are using it, I thank you very much. And I request your support in the future as well. For those of you who have not yet downloaded the Unacademy Learning app, I request you to go to the Play Store on your mobile phone, download the Unacademy Learning app, install it on your mobile phones, put in your mobile number where you will get an OTP, and using that OTP, you can register on the Unacademy Learning app. It is as simple as this, with no lengthy or complicated procedures. It's absolutely simple. Now you might ask me, okay, I've downloaded the Unacademy Learning app, I've installed it, I've registered on it using the mobile and OTP. So what? So the Unacademy Learning app gives you access to all the live and recorded special classes that Unacademy has to offer you to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. Also, it gives you access to all the live and recorded Plus courses that Unacademy has to offer you in order to accelerate your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. So keeping these features in mind, I strongly recommend you download the Unacademy Learning app as soon as possible, register on it, and start making use of all the resources that are available on it to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. I also request you to spread the word around and helping the people around you to get onto the Unacademy Learning app by helping them download it, by helping them install the Unacademy Learning app on their mobile phones, by helping them register on it using their mobile number and the OTP so that they too can make use of all the resources that Unacademy has to offer in order to help you in your preparations. All right, please take about 30 seconds, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Just take about 30 seconds. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, now let's come to the important slide which talks about the Plus platform of Unacademy. Like I told you, the Plus platform of Unacademy is the premium platform of Unacademy, which is also a payment-based subscription model which has various subscription packages. So accordingly, the CA Foundation and Intermediate subscription packages provided by the Plus platform of Unacademy are as follows. The packages provided are for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months and 24 months. The 1 month package costs 3,500. The 3 month package costs 8,750. The 6 months package costs rupees 14,000. The 12 months package costs rupees 17,500, and the 24 months package costs about 21,000 rupees. Now please remember, all these are the listed price. So before you make the payment for the package of your choice, please do not forget to use the code Prathik to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed price. I repeat, please do not forget to use the code Prathik, that's my name, to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed price. So the after discount price of the various packages are as follows. The 1 month package will cost you rupees 3,150. The 3 month package will cost you rupees 7,875. The 6 months package will cost you rupees 12,600. The 12 months package will cost you rupees 15,750. And the 24 months package will cost you rupees 18,900. So you see, immediately you get a savings of 10% when you use my code Pratik to get a discount on the listed price. Now, I personally recommend you to start off with the 12 months or 24 months packages due to two reasons. Firstly, it is cost effective. If you compare the 1 month package cost with the per month cost of the 12 months and 24 months package, you will see that you're getting great savings almost immediately. And secondly, and most importantly, since the CA Foundation and Intermediate courses are provided to you in one package, that is 12 months or 24 months, it makes a very good deal for you to go for the 12 months or 24 months packages because they cover the entire duration of your courses. That is the CA Foundation and Intermediate, and normally it takes about 12 months time for you to prepare and clear the CA Foundation and the Intermediate examination. So if you're getting a package that is 12 months or 24 months that covers the entire duration of your courses at a very cost-effective price, I think that is a very good deal. But having said this, you're free to choose the package of your choice. But before you make the payment, please do not forget to use the code Pratik to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed price. You can also go for the no-cost EMI options available for the 6 months, 12 months and 24 months subscriptions, just in case you do not wish to make the entire payment at one shot. The payment options available to you are debit card, credit card, internet banking, and also all the coins that you've accumulated by watching the special classes can be redeemed when you make the payment for the Plus course. So keeping these packages, these discounts in mind, and also the advantages that I told you in the previous slides about the Plus platform of Unacademy, I strongly recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible in order to enhance and accelerate your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. Alright, please take about a minute, go through this slide. Any questions, please ask me. Please take about a minute. Any questions, please ask me. Anyone has any questions? Shall we proceed? Okay, let's proceed. Then, like I told you, the Unacademy Learning app gives you access to all the live and recorded special classes that Unacademy has to offer to you. Here are the snapshots of few of the many special classes that I have conducted on the Unacademy Learning app, which you will find useful in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. So there are special classes on Revision Test Paper, Sale of Goods Act, Indian Contracts Act, the Companies Act, Fundamentals of Accounting, Retirement of Partners, Death of Partner, Admission of Partners, Valuation of Inventories, Revision on Final Accounts of Non-Manufacturing Entities, Revision on Sale of Goods or Approval or Return Basis, and many more sessions which you will find on the Unacademy Learning app that will help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. So I request you to go on to the Unacademy Learning app, download it on your phones, register on it, and type in Prathik Gupta, Prathikgupta, to find the many sessions that I have taken over there which will help you in your preparations. Please take 30 seconds, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. All right, let me know once you're done. Are we done? Okay, now here are the links to few of the many special classes that I've conducted on the Unacademy Learning app, which is here for your convenience. You can either click on these links or copy and paste these links on your browser to take you directly to the Unacademy Learning app and my special classes which you can make use of. So there are special classes on the Indian Contracts Act, Sale of Goods Act, Indian Partnership Act, the Limited Liability Partnership Act, the Companies Act, Basics of Communication, Accounting Concepts and Revision Test Papers, May 2020 Business Laws, and many other sessions. Okay, so you can actually go by just clicking on these links here, you can go to those sessions. Please take about 30 seconds, go through them, and then we proceed. Any questions in the meantime, please ask me. Yes, let me know once you're done. Are we done? Okay, and here is the schedule for the next 1 week of mine on special classes. All these are on the Unacademy Learning app. Where I'm conducting some quizzes, okay, which are very interesting on economics. I'm conducting these quizzes, so please do attend them. Today we have a quiz, tomorrow again at 6:30 p.m. Then on 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 December we have quizzes on economics, followed by quiz on business laws. So I request all of you to download the Unacademy Learning app and attend these quizzes as soon as possible. On YouTube, today we have this revision test papers November 2020 part 2. Then 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th we have revision test papers November, then May 2020, and then November 2019. Okay, so these are all being mentioned to you so that you can schedule your time and attend these sessions as well. Please take a minute, go through these sessions, go through this slide and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask me. Yes, are we done? You can take a screenshot or you can make a note of these, and I would request all of you to attend these sessions. Okay, let's start off with revision test papers, November 2020. Business law issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and which is being used here for discussion in educational purposes only. Part 2, because part 1 was done yesterday. So in case you missed it, you can go through that session, okay, and then come back. So we will continue from where we stopped last class. We finished this. Acceptance. This is where we stopped yesterday. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to read the question, read the answer, explain it to you, then give you about 2 or 3 minutes to go through it and ask me any questions that you may have. Okay? So if it's okay with you, shall we start off? Shall we proceed? Okay. Question number 3. Define the term acceptance. Discuss legal provisions relating to communication of acceptance. Answer. According to section 2b, the term acceptance is defined as follows. When a person to whom a proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. A proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise. Okay. So then, an acceptance, in order to be valid, must be absolute, unqualified, accepted according to the mode, if any, prescribed within a reasonable time and communicated to the offerer. So, in case the offerer says that you should communicate your acceptance by so and so time and so manner, then it has to be done in that manner and in that time that is specified by the offerer. Otherwise, it is not a valid acceptance. Acceptance can also be made by way of conduct. So it's not necessary that acceptance has to be either by saying something or by writing something. Acceptance can also be by conduct, which means acceptance can also be made by actions. Okay. The legal provisions relating to communication of acceptance are contained in section 4. The communication of an acceptance is complete as against the proposer when it is put in the course of transmission to him so as to be out of power of the acceptor, as against the acceptor when it comes to the knowledge of the proposer. Alright, so this is the first part of the answer. Please take about 2 minutes, go through this, and then we go on to the next one. Any questions you have, please ask me. I will give you a lot of time to read it because I want you to understand it and then ask me any questions that you may have. Please take 2 more minutes, go through this carefully. Any questions you may have, please ask me. Yes, let me know once you're done. Yes, are we done? Take a minute more. Take about a minute more. Any questions, please ask me. Are we done? Okay. Then, Section 3 of the Act prescribes in general terms two modes of communication, namely by any act or by omission, intending thereby communicate to the other or which has the effect of communicating to the other. Okay. So, other than written and verbal communication, there is also two types of communication: by any act or by omission, which intends to communicate to the other that it has been accepted. The first method would include any conduct and words, whether oral or written. Written words would include letters, telegrams, advertisements. Oral words would include telephone messages. Any conduct would include positive acts or signs so that the other person understands what the other person acting or making signs means to say or convey. Omission would exclude silence but include such conduct or forbearance on one's part that the other person takes it as willingness or assent. These are not only modes of communication of intention of the parties. There are other means as well. If you are owner, deliver the goods to me as a buyer thereof at a certain price. This transaction will be understood by everyone as acceptance of an act, acceptance by act or conduct, unless there is an implication to the contrary. The phrase appearing in section 3, which has the effect of communicating it, clearly refers to any act or omission or conduct which may be indirect but which results in communicating an acceptance or non-acceptance. However, a mere mental but unilateral act of assent in one's mind does not tantamount to communication, since it cannot have an effect of communicating to the other. So see, this is a big paragraph, but all it means is there are two types of communications. One is by any act, that means it could be by writing or by speaking, and the other thing is by omission or by any other act. Okay, so you have to do something. Either you say it, or you show your hand, or you do certain activity in such a way that the other person understands it to be an acceptance or rejection. But in your own mind, if you've thought about something, that yes or no, then that does not amount to acceptance. It has to be communicated to the other. Please take about 2 or 3 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Please take about 2 or 3 minutes, go through this. Any questions you may have, please ask me. Okay, any questions you may have, please ask me. Any questions? Carefully go through this, read it carefully. Any questions you may have, please ask me. Take a minute more and then we continue. Any questions? Okay, so that's with the question number 3. Now let's go on to the next question. To form a valid contract, consideration must be adequate. Comment. Okay, now please remember this is a revision test paper question. It's been actually asked by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, so please pay attention. To form a valid contract, consideration must be adequate. Comment. Let's look at the answer. The law provides that a contract should be supported by consideration. So long as consideration exists, the courts are not concerned due to its adequacy, provided it is of some value. The adequacy of consideration is for the parties to consider at the time of making the agreement, not for the court when it is sought to be enforced. Okay, the case study there is Bolton versus Morton. Consideration must, however, be something to which the law attaches value, though it need not be equivalent to the value of the promise made. Okay, so this simply means whenever there is a contract, so as we read in the Indian Contracts Act 1872, one of the important elements of a contract is valid consideration, right? Now, the term here is valid consideration, but it does not say adequate consideration. So, if you have a laptop and you're planning to say, if you bought it for 50,000 or 1 lakh, and you're planning to sell it for, say, 10,000 rupees, the court has nothing to do with it. That's a contract between you and the person who's ready to buy your laptop, right? So, there is nothing called as adequacy of consideration. All right, so that's something purely that takes place between the buyer and the seller. So if the buyer and seller are okay with it, then that's what matters, and nothing else should be discussed or nothing else should be a problem. Okay, are we done? So in this case, the leading case is Bolton versus Morton, and the adequacy of consideration is for the parties to consider at the time of making the agreement, not for the court when it is sought to be enforced. Bolton versus Morton. Consideration must, however, be something which the law attaches value, though it need not be equivalent in value to the promise made. So whenever there is a consideration, that consideration should have a value, should be something to which the law attaches some value. It should not be some useless thing which is absolute rubbish and which has no value. Okay. According to explanation 2 to section 25 of the Indian Contracts Act 1872, an agreement to which the consent of the promisor is freely given is not void merely because the consideration is inadequate, but inadequacy of consideration may be taken into account by court in determining the question whether the consent of the promisor was freely given. Okay, now this is a very important point. Now, in the first paragraph, we see that the court is not ready, is really not bothered about the adequacy of the consideration, like whether a 50,000 laptop is being sold for 10,000. The court will not comment. But in case the person refuses to pay the 10,000 or the person refuses to hand over the laptop, the court will interfere with that. But the court will not really interfere whether 10,000 is a valid consideration or not. Okay. Now, but this, please remember, there is a flip side to it. So even though the court will not consider whether the consideration is adequate, but the court will get a doubt. It will make the court think that if there's a laptop which is 50,000 rupees, which is sold for 10,000 rupees, was the consent given freely? Okay, that thought will come into the court's mind. Whether the consent of the person who's selling a 50,000 rupees laptop for 10,000, whether his consent was obtained freely or whether it was obtained due undue influence, coercion, misrepresentation or fraud. Okay, so that aspect the court will think about. All right, please take about 2 minutes, go through this. Let me know once you're done. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, let me know once you're done. Any questions you may have, please ask me. Please take 2 minutes, go through it carefully. Yes, Atharv, any questions? Please take 2 minutes, go through this, let me know once you're done, and then I'll proceed. Let me know once you're done. Take another minute or so. Are we done? Take a minute more. Read it carefully. Any questions, please ask me. All right, let's proceed. Okay, let's go to the question number 5. Explain the term quasi-contracts and state their characteristics. Okay, so the question here is explain the term quasi-contracts and state its characteristics. This is also, let me tell you, our favorite question. This question is asked quite a few times in the examinations, so please pay attention. Okay, let's look at the answer. Quasi-contracts. Under certain special circumstances, obligations resembling those created by contract are imposed by the law, although the parties have never entered into a contract. Such obligations imposed by law are referred to as quasi-contracts. Such a contract resembles with a contract so far as result or effect is concerned, but it has little or no affinity with a contract in respect of mode of creation. These contracts are based on the doctrine that a person shall not be allowed to enrich himself unjustly at the expense of another. The salient features of quasi-contracts are, so basically the quasi-contracts are contracts contrary to what normal contracts are. They are not created by the proposer and the acceptor and a formal writing of agreement and all that. These contracts are created by law, by the operation of law, and this is based on a fundamental principle that a person shall not be allowed to enrich himself unjustly at the expense of another. That means a person shall not be entitled or allowed to take advantage over another person. Okay, that is the whole premise of the quasi-contracts. So the salient features of quasi contracts are as follows. It does not arise from any agreement of the parties concerned but is imposed by law. So there is no agreement, there is no formal offer given and acceptance taken. All these contracts are imposed by law. Duty and not promise is the basis of such contracts. So because they are not made by any agreement, it is the duty of the people who are entering a quasi contract, and it is not created by promise. The right under this is always the right to money, and generally, though not always, to a liquidated sum of money. So for quasi contracts, the right under these contracts is for a sum of money. Okay, it may not be always a liquidated sum of money. Such a right is available against specific persons and not just the whole world. A suit for the breach may be filed in the same way as in the case of a complete contract. So just as you have a complete contract, a breach for which you can file a case, you can file a case for these two. Okay, so this is the general thing about quasi contracts. Okay, please take about 2 or 3 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Please take 2 or 3 minutes. Any questions you have, please ask me. Sorry. Please take 2 more minutes, go through this. Sorry. Any questions you have, please ask me. It's an important question and also a favorite question from the exam point of view. Are we done? Let me know once you're done. Okay, take about a minute more and let me know then when you're done. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now we're talking about the Sale of Goods Act. Previously we spoke about 5 questions under the Indian Contracts Act. Now let's discuss a few questions under the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Okay, question number 6. J, the owner of a Fiat car, wants to sell his car. For this purpose, he hands over the car to P, a mercantile agent, for the sale at a price not less than 50,000 rupees. The agent sells the car for rupees 40,000 rupees to A, who buys the car in good faith and without any notice of any fraud. P misappropriated the money also. J sues A to recover the car. Decide giving reasons whether J would succeed. Okay, so the question here is, J appointed P, who is a mercantile agent, to sell his car, okay, for a minimum of 50,000 rupees. Clear? Okay, so J was the owner of a Fiat car. So he appointed P as his mercantile agent to sell his car for rupees 50,000 rupees. Now what did P do? P sold his car to A for 50,000, no, for 40,000 rupees, and he also ran away with the 40,000 rupees. But when A bought it in good faith. That means he had no idea, or he had no reason to think that P was going to run away with the money, or P was not the authorized agent of A. Okay. Now, there are also a lot of conditions for agency relationship to be built, that the property from the principal to the agent should come into the hands of the agent in due course, and he should be exercising his normal powers. Okay, and the buyer should buy the goods in good faith. So then these things we will discuss a little further, but now let's understand the question. So have you understood the question? So can we go on to the solution? All right. The problem in this case is based on the provisions of Sale of Goods Act 1930 contained in the proviso to section 27. Okay, the proviso provides that a mercantile agent is one who in the customary course of his business has as such agent authority either to sell goods or to consign goods for the purpose of sale, or to buy goods or to raise money on the security of goods. The buyer of goods from a mercantile agent who has no authority from the principal gets a good title to the goods if the following conditions are satisfied. We will go to the conditions. Before that, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Okay, understand this and let me know once you're done. Then we will go on to the next page. Please take 2 minutes, carefully go through this, take your time. No hurry, take your time. And let me know once you're done. Please take 2 minutes. All right, let me know once you're done, all of you. Take another minute or so, go through it carefully. Any questions you may have, please ask me. I hope all of you are going through this. Let me know once you're done so that we can proceed. Are we done? Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Now, these are the following conditions that need to be satisfied for the buyer to get a good title when the goods are sold by the mercantile agent. The first one, the agent should be in possession of the goods or documents of title to goods with the consent of the owner. That means whatever goods come into the possession of the agent, they should come into the possession of the agent with the consent of the owner. So in the current case, the Fiat car of J was given to P with J's consent? Yes. Okay. The second one. The agent should sell the goods while acting in the ordinary course of business of a mercantile agent. So, whenever the sale is made by an agent, he should be working within his authority to sell the goods as a mercantile agent. Okay. So, in the current case, when P was selling the car to A, was he working in the ordinary course of business as a mercantile agent? Yes. The third, the buyer should act in good faith. So when A purchased, good faith means the buyer should not have any idea or any reason to believe that the mercantile agent is conducting a fraud. So in this present case, when P sold the car to A, did A have any idea about the intentions of P to run away with the money, or that P was selling it at 40,000 rupees when he was told 50,000 rupees? No, A had no idea about it. So A bought the car in good faith. Are we clear? Then fourth one. The buyer should not have at the time of contract of sale notice that the agent has no authority to sell. So in case A, while purchasing the car, if he had noticed that J does not have authority to sell the car, in that case he will not get a good title. But in case he does not know at the time when the agent is making the sale, he does not know that the agent has no authority to sell the goods, in that case he will obtain a good title. So in the instant case P, The agent was in possession of the car with J's consent, clear, for the purpose of sale. A, the buyer, therefore obtained a good title to the car. Hence, J in this case cannot recover the money from A. Okay, why? Because P was working in his normal capacity. He got the car with the consent of J. A, while buying the car from P, had no idea that J will run away with the money, and he bought it in good faith. Therefore, A in this case gets a good title to the car, and J cannot file a case against A for recovery of his car. Okay, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions you may have, please ask me. Please take 2 minutes, go through this carefully. Any questions you may have, please ask me. Yes, let me know once you're done. Let me know once you're done. I'm giving you time to read it and understand it so that you have no confusions. This is a favorite question from the exam point of view as well. Okay? Any questions you may have, please ask me. Anyone, any questions? Okay, Athar, what's your question? Can you explain the highlight between a tacit contract and a quasi contract? Tacit. Where is there some other terminology, or is there a spelling error you've made, Athar? Not heard of a tacit contract. Yes, Athar? Athar, I'm waiting for your reply. Okay, Kushagra Singh, yes. I think Atharv has asked us a question, so let's wait for him to answer. Let's wait for him to give us more information so I can explain it to him. Okay, just 1 second, just hold on, huh? Just hold on. Let me just check the spelling. Okay, now see why I was a little surprised, Atharv, is tacit contracts. Firstly, it's not part of your syllabus. Okay, under the Indian Contracts Act 1872, it's silent. There is no contract such as tacit contract mentioned, and that is why I was a little surprised with your question. Okay, so it's not. It's a kind of a silent contract where there is no acceptor, no offerer, nothing, and it is not. And even the Indian Contracts Act is silent about its nature. Okay, and it's more or less of an implied contract. That means a moral responsibility or an understanding kind of a contract. There is no written things about it. Yes, it's quite similar, yes. Now see, you know what a quasi-contract is, right? A quasi-contract is a contract that is created by law, not by an agreement. Okay, so a quasi-contract created by law means, let's say a person leaves his laptop in a taxi and the taxi driver finds it. So that becomes a quasi-contract because that is a contract created by law that the finder of lost goods has to make every possible efforts to find out who the real owner of the goods is, and even after reasonable efforts, if he cannot find out who the owner is, then he can dispose the goods as he wants. Okay, so that is a quasi contract. So similar to that are tacit contracts, which are silent. Okay, and there is these are sort of an understanding kind of a contract, assumably or understanding kind of contracts. Okay, Athar, are you clear? Yes. Atharv, are you clear? Any other questions you have? Any other questions, Atharv? Kushagra, any questions? Any doubts? Okay, shall we proceed? Okay, Kushagra, Atharv, can we proceed? Oh, okay. Okay, now let's go to question number 7. Okay, this is again Sale of Goods Act 1930. Suraj sold his car to Sohan for rupees 75,000. After inspection and satisfaction, Sohan paid 25,000 and took possession of the car and promised to pay the remaining amount within a month. Later on, Sohan refuses to give the remaining amount on the ground that the car was not in a good condition. Advise Suraj as to what remedy is available to him against Sohan. Okay, so the crux of the question is, Suraj sold his car to Sohan for 75,000. Sohan took the car, inspected it, drove it and everything, and after he was satisfied, he paid 25,000 rupees to Suraj. And he said, 50,000 rupees I'll pay you in a month. Later on, Sohan refuses to give the remaining amount on the ground that the car was not in good condition, and advised Suraj as to what remedy is available to him against Sohan. So now, Suraj wants to know, for that 50,000 rupees remaining, what are the remedies available to him. Okay, so let's look at the answer. As per section 55 of the Sale of Goods Act 1930, an unpaid seller has the right to institute a suit for price against a buyer personally. The said section lays down that, first one, where under a contract of sale of property in goods has passed to the buyer and the buyer wrongfully neglects or refuses to pay the goods, the seller may sue him for the price of the goods. Okay, so whenever there is a sale transaction that takes place and the property in the goods or the ownership of the goods passes on from the seller to the buyer, and the buyer then wrongfully refuses to pay the amount, then the seller may sue him for the price of the goods. Okay, so in the instant case, Suraj can sue him for the remaining 50,000 rupees. The second one, where under a contract of sale the price is payable on a certain day irrespective of delivery and the buyer wrongfully neglects or refuses to pay the price. Okay, the seller may sue him for the price. It makes no difference even if the property in the goods has not passed and the goods have not been appropriated to the contract. So the second one is, in case there is a contract of sale and as per that contract the price is payable on a particular date by the buyer, then irrespective of that date, if the ownership has passed on to the buyer or not, if the buyer does not pay, the seller can file a case against him. Okay, please take 2 minutes, go through this and then we proceed. Okay, Atharv, Kushagra, go through this and then we proceed. Any questions? Please ask me. Okay, let me know once you're done. Kushagra, Atharv, yes, please carefully go through this important question, understand the concept. Okay, what about Kushagra? Kushagra, are you clear? Let me know. Please take a minute more. Kushagra, you're not clear? If you require me to explain any point, let me know. Can we proceed? Kushagra and Atharv? Yes, can we proceed? Okay, now see, in this case, Atharv was asking me a question that in the previous question, with the agent, what can the principal do against the agent if the agent sells below the agreed price? See, in the previous question, agent has done two things wrong. Firstly, when the principal told him to sell the car for 50,000, he sold it for 40,000. Then even that 40,000, he's taken it and run away. Okay, so the principal can file a case against the agent. One is for not taking his orders and selling it below the cost. And next is for misappropriating, that is forgery or fraud. He can file a case against him for recovery and damages. Okay, Atharv? Yes? चलिए आगे बढ़े हम प्रोसीड करें Okay, now the problem is based on the above provisions. Hence, Suraj will succeed against Sohan for recovery of the remaining amount. Apart from this, that means remaining amount is 50,000 rupees. Apart from the 50,000 rupees, Suraj is also entitled to interest on the remaining amount, that is 50,000 rupees, interest during the pendency of the suit. So if that case goes on for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, on that 50,000 he will get interest, and also the cost of proceedings. So whatever is your legal cost of proceedings, your lawyer fees, your court fees, everything, he will also get that as a reimbursement from the court. Okay, take 30 seconds, go through this, and then we proceed. Any questions? Please ask me. Atharv, Kushagra, can we proceed? Understood? Alright, Charlie, let's go to the next question. Okay, question number 8. What are the consequences of destruction of goods under the Sale of Goods Act 1930, where the goods have been destroyed after the agreement to sell but before the sale is effected? Okay, so the question here is, what are the consequences of destruction of goods under the Sale of Goods Act 1930, where the goods have been destroyed after the agreement to sell but before the sale is effected? Okay, let's look at the question. Let's look at the answer. Destruction of goods consequences. In accordance with the provision of Sale of Goods Act 1930, as contained in section 7, a contract for the sale of specific goods is void if at the time when the contract was made, the goods without the knowledge of the seller perished or became so damaged as to no longer answer to the description in the contract, then the contract is void ab initio. This section is based on the rule that where both the parties to a contract are under a mistake as to the matter of fact essential to a contract, the contract is void. Okay, which simply means when a contract is being made between a buyer and seller, let's say for 100 mangoes, okay, and both of them don't know that the contract which they're making for the 100 mangoes have already been eaten by rats and this thing, and there's nothing left, it's all been spoiled, then in that case the contract will be void ab initio. Void ab initio means it will be void right from the beginning, right from the initial stages. Okay, so here in this case, when the goods are destructed, when the subject matter of a contract, when the contract is being made by mistake of the seller, if it is destroyed, it's perishable or it's destroyed, then the contract becomes void ab initio. Okay, so if the mangoes are not even in existence at the time when the contract is being made, then the contract cannot be enforceable. In a similar way, section 8 provides that an agreement to sell specific goods becomes void if subsequently the goods, without any fault on the part of the seller or buyer, perish or become so damaged as to no longer to answer to the description in agreement before the risk passes to the buyer. So also now Atharv, can you tell me what do you mean by specified goods? Specific goods? Can you tell me what is specific goods? Atharv? Can you tell me what is specific goods? Okay, now specific goods means goods that are identified and are appropriated or mentioned in the contract. Those are specific goods. So if at the time when an agreement to sell is made of specific goods, without the fault of the buyer or seller, if the goods become spoiled or they become so damaged, before the risk passes on from the seller to the buyer, then the contract is void and the responsibility is that of the seller itself. Okay, please take about 2 minutes, go through the slide and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask me. Atharv, okay, yes, separated from the lot or identified to a contract. Yes. Okay, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Let me know once you're done. Let me know once you're done. Read it carefully. Excuse me. Any questions you may have, please ask me. Let me know once you're done. Okay, Athar, what's your question? If the goods are of a deliverable state and they are destroyed, it means the risk has passed to the buyer. No. Please remember, you're saying that it's in a deliverable state. They have not yet been delivered to the buyer. So in that case, the risk is still with the seller. Okay, if they are in a deliverable state, that means it's ready, please come and collect it, sir. Okay, then in that case, if the goods get destroyed, the responsibility is that of the seller, not of the buyer. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Any other question, please ask. Okay, but then see, there is a flip side to it. Let's say again there are 100 mangoes and the seller is selling 100 mangoes, and the buyer came to the shop, he paid for those 100 mangoes. He told the seller that, okay, you keep this basket, I will come in the evening and I will collect it. Here is the full payment. Okay, then in that case, because the payment is being made, the goods have been transferred from the seller to the buyer. So when the goods are kept in the office of the seller and if something happens to those goods, then the responsibility is that of the buyer, because the goods have already passed from the seller to the buyer, and the seller is just holding those goods on behalf of the seller. Okay, are we clear? Atharv? Any other questions, please ask me. Please take about 30 seconds, go through this, and then we proceed. Are we done? Okay. If we are done, then I'd like to stop this session with this. Okay, we will continue tomorrow, same at 9:15 to 10:45. Okay, thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. And in case you have any questions with whatever we've done so far, I request you to yes, Athar, what is your question? No idea, Athar. Maybe you can help. Maybe you can spread the word across in your circles about the sessions. 8 in the morning. I'm sorry, I didn't understand, Athar. What is 8 in the morning? I'm sorry, I didn't understand, Athar. No, tomorrow again we'll have it at 9:15 p.m. 9 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Okay, and 6:30 is my special class on the Unacademy learning app, like I shared in my schedule. So I look forward to you being there. Okay, and after this session, today's session, if you have any other questions, you can please ask me. I can stay for another 5 or 10 minutes. If you have any questions about anything, Athar, you can ask me. Or tomorrow you have an exam. Which one? Which one? Oh, so how is your preparation? You're writing tomorrow? Are you writing it? Thirf, are you giving your attempt tomorrow, or is it in Jan or in May? Acha, so how's preparations, Atarf? All well? Chalo, all the best, Athar. Do well. Go to sleep early. Okay, and stay calm during your examinations. It's okay, you'll do well. All right? Company law is interesting, but it's very important as well. You'll find a large chunk of questions that will come from company law. That chapter alone will carry about 25 to 30 marks. Okay, chalo. All the best, Athar, and let me know how you did tomorrow in the evening. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. All the best. Good luck.